Back in 2005, I drew this set of faces for Fred from City of Rott. And this face here, you can see his eyes are closed and he has no mouth. And then I drew these little pupils here. And here's the M mouth, I call it, for when he's silent. Here's the F mouth, which is EH. So I spell it EH. That's for the letter E, and I guess other vowels or whatever. Here's the T mouth. That's where he's saying the letter T or the S. Here's the U mouth for, like, if you say cool, that would go there. Here's the ah or O mouth, where he's saying open the door. You'd start off with that for open. There's his eyebrow, and then there's looks like another pupil, and then the eyeball. Here's his mean eyes for when he's looking straight ahead. I've learned that for movies, it's probably not a good idea to have him looking right at the camera. So I'm not sure why I thought this was a good idea to draw this face, although it does give him more angles. But then I was inspired by Hanna-Barbera cartoons, where they simplify it down to just left or right most of the time. Although it is cool to have this option here, but when you have to do it for every single character, it gets a bit overwhelming when your time is limited. Alright, so if I close this one, and I'm not going to save that. This here is when everything's filled in for the colors. I had to isolate each image and then color it in. And one way you could do that is just click this select tool. So let's say you're in here and you select in there. Normally it would highlight all around these, but for some reason it's not doing that. So you could do that and then just do select invert, and then as you could see, it'll color everything outside, because I must have selected outside. So go invert again. So if you want to shade it, you just go right in there and look how it keeps everything in there. I'm not going to save this, so I'm not worried about these changes here. But this face here for Fred, as you can see, you could take these mouths here and put them there or there, and here I had to duplicate his nose so they would overlap the mouth. Alright, so that's that right there, and that was made in 2005 on paper. I drew it on paper and then I scanned it into the computer. Alright, so here's this picture here. Of Fred's license plate and when he was younger. So if I go through all this, let's see, I won't go through all of it, but if I close this off, just shut all these off. This is the program called GIMP, G-I-M-P, and it's a really good alternative to Photoshop, which I hear you have to subscribe to now. I haven't had Photoshop since the 1999 program. For me, if it's not broken, then I'm probably not going to update to the latest software or program. But here is Fred when he was I think 26 years old, and then he got bit by the brain worm, and that's why he got so old so quick. But if you look at life, you blink your eyes, and next thing you know, it's 5 years later, and then next thing you know, 20 years later. City Rott I made and completed in 2005, 2006, and it was released August 6th, 2006 on DVD, and then all the other video stores, Hollywood Video and Movie Gallery, and I think it made it on the Blockbuster website, and a couple others. The only one I don't think it made it into was Netflix, which was really hard to get into back then. But then you could see I layered it so you could interchange that. But that was the license plate for that one scene where he shows his ID there. And then we have this image here. If you expand it right there and then zoom in a little, you can see I have this all on a flat plane. So when I was drawing it, I had all these hands. I said, oh, I'll need this hand and that hand. Now I just simplify it to an open hand and then a fist, because a lot of these I almost never used, like this pointing finger. I don't think I really use that too much. It's nice to have that option, but it's a lot more work, and I have limited time. But there you can see his torso facing forward. See that right there? This pocket protector, I guess they call it. That's a little bit of a challenge, because if you look in the movie, if I reverse this image, then it's in this pocket here. So I did a little skit where in the movie he takes his pocket protector and moves it to the other pocket to account for that. It was kind of like a little attempt at some humor in the movie. Alright, and here's Fred here on his motorcycle, and you can see I have the images of 3 different angles for the bike. And of course that's the front angle, but I had to account for the muffler, which is only on one side. So if you look, the muffler is on the right side there, and then here it's on the left side. Well, it's in the back actually. And I actually ride motorcycles in real life. The latest one I have now actually kind of resembles this a little bit, but it's a later model, a newer model. But it's definitely a lot of fun riding bikes. I've been riding since 2003. But there he is on the bike, the motorcycle, and let's see, if I click on these, I could zoom out and take a look at some of this. Yeah, here I had his arm holding onto the bike there. Now back then I was using Image Ready, which is part of Photoshop. It was like a really simple animation program. So that's why I only had 3 frames of a walk cycle. So it had really, really choppy animation. Only because every single one of these would be a layer for the animation, because there was no rotation. Like here you could rotate the bike, but in Image Ready they wouldn't let you do that unless you wanted to change the whole image. So in order to get that second image of the bike shifted like that, you'd want to go into duplicate layer, and there you got your second layer. And then let's rotate that. So let's say he's doing a wheelie, so you'd go like that, and of course you'd have to have him on there, but there he is there. And then let's say you wanted to have the wheelie go fully up. So in Image Ready I had to duplicate that layer again and then fully rotate it so it's like that. And there you go. Now you got your 3 frames where you could do the rotation. So here he is, and then you press keyframe to animate. Then you have this, and you have to hide this, and the way you hide it is you go like that, and then you would keyframe that, and then hide that, and then there you are over there, keyframe that. But that's how I did it in Image Ready. It took getting used to, but it was a fun way of working about it. But just wanted to show a little of how I originally created Fred back in 2005. And you can see the bike I drew on the computer because it's not as precise as the hand-drawn detailing of Fred. So I drew this with a mouse, I think, back then. Yeah, I didn't have a one of those pens, so you would draw with the mouse a lot. I might have had a pen, I forget. It must have been really old though. But that's it for now, and this was just some behind the scenes of City of Rott 1. But thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell icon, and have a good day.